Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. If you could please find your seats, we're going to get started. Glad everybody made it in without blowing away today. Welcome to the 2026 State of the County Address. My name is Susan McNamara, and I'm honored to serve as Board Chair of the Lenexa Chamber of Commerce. I will serve as your MC today. At the conclusion of our formal program, I invite you to stay for food, drinks, and networking. Today's event is presented by the Johnson County Chamber's Public Policy Council, comprised of 10 chambers of commerce representing Johnson County. The council's mission is to monitor legislative activities at the local, state, and national levels and to advocate for legislation favorable to our region, our local communities, our businesses, and our residents. We strive to foster strong partnerships with our elected officials and to educate local businesses about legislative issues. We believe that speaking with one voice most effectively communicates the concerns of the business community. When our business community succeeds, our entire county flourishes. Before we begin, I'd like to recognize many of the dignitaries joining us. Since there are so many, I will make group introductions. Please note that the county's elected officials will be recognized during the State of the County Address. So if you are an elected official from any level of government, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. If you serve on one of the Chamber of Commerce boards, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for your service. Countywide public-private partnership plays an essential role in creating a strong economy and excellent quality of life. Thank you all for attending today's State of the County, which is being broadcast on the county's website at jocogov.org/stateofthecounty. It's my honor to introduce Board of County Commission Chair Mike Kelly for his 2026 State of the County Address. Mike Kelly joined Johnson County government as the chairman of the Board of County Commissioners in January of 2023. Functioning in a capacity similar to a city mayor, he serves as the chief elected official for the largest county in Kansas. In this role, he oversees county government operations, leads policy initiatives, and provides strategic vision for the entire county. Before assuming that position, Chairman Kelly served as mayor of Roland Park, Kansas, beginning in 2017. Born and raised in Leawood, Chairman Kelly has lived in Johnson County his entire life. Following his family tradition, Chairman Kelly attended Kansas State University, where he graduated degrees with journalism and political science. He earned his law degree from the University of Kansas. In 2019, Chairman Kelly co-founded Climate Action KC, a regional leader implementing best practices for reducing emissions, energy efficiency, and natural conservation. Chairman Kelly and his wife Elizabeth have 2 children, Virginia and George. And this year they welcome the newest member of their family, a puppy named Ivy. We are pleased to have his friends and family members in attendance today, although unfortunately Ivy had to stay home. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to our chairman of the Johnson County Commission, Mike Kelly.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, Johnson County. So good to be back with you again today. Susan, thank you so much for that kind introduction. Thank you to everybody from the Public Policy Council who has come out today, and a particular thank you to the Olathe Chamber of Commerce, who is our host today. Give it up for Olathe. All right. Nice to be in the county seat as we are here to celebrate our success, to express gratitude, but also to talk about our vision our vision for the future. Speaking of gratitude, I have to start right here at the head table and thank my wife and my family for being here today. And my daughter, Virginia, has gotten out of school for an extra hour and has joined us. Hey, Buck. And I want to say a special thank you to my family away from my family, my fellow Board of County Commissioners. Please hold your applause to the end, but let me thank Commissioners Becky Fast, Commissioner Jeff Myers, Commissioner Julie Brewer, Commissioner Janae Hanslick, Commissioner Michael Ashcraft, and Commissioner Shirley Allenbrand. The board, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to have professional policymakers to work with. It's my pleasure to spend so much time working together with you on all kinds of initiatives. It's also great to have a fantastic team at Johnson County, 4,200 employees strong, led by Penny Post Oak Ferguson in the County Manager's Office. This group works together with the ELT, our executive leadership team, which recognizes the director of 30 different departments across Johnson County as we work together to innovate, to provide better service, to be efficient, but to achieve outcomes for our community. Thank you so much to the staff, and a particular thank you to the Communications and Engagement Department for their work in putting today together. I also want to thank a couple other key partners with us here today. First of all, our sheriff has joined us, Sheriff Byron Roberson. Our district attorney, Steve Howe. And a welcome and congratulations to the new chief judge in Johnson County, Judge Brenda Cameron. So let me start with a standard phrase when you hear a state of the X speech that you're expecting. Let's all be honest, the state of Johnson County is strong. I'm incredibly impressed and grateful for the strength of this organization. And luckily, it's not just me who thinks so. Most recently, we got our survey results back from our statistically valid countywide survey. And again, Johnson County has spoken clearly. 94% of Johnson Countyans agree that Johnson County is a great place to live, a great place to raise a family, a great place to own or to start a business, and a comfortable place to retire. That's a full 40 points above the national average. The majority of Johnson County services continue to get incredible remarks and accolades with these surveys. I was particularly impressed this year with an increase in the value for tax dollars spent in the services that Johnson County provides. So Johnson County remains strong, but is not strong. Well, yeah, sure, Janae, let's give it up. I know the State of the Union was like 2 hours this year, and if we keep clapping for everything, I promise we're not going to be here that long, but accolades and congratulations where they are due, for sure. But it's not just Johnson County government that deserves that accolade. We are strong because we work together. It's about partnerships and weaving together resources from a multitude of sources, public, private, nonprofit, parochial, all working together to provide this great quality of life and a fantastic place that we call home. We recognize, though, that Johnson County is not in a vacuum. We don't exist by ourselves. We are an important part of a thriving metropolitan region, and we're a cornerstone for the state of Kansas. So when we think about partnership, the state level is an important partner, and the state legislature are key allies for Johnson County as we progress forward. Now, I'd like to thank all of these state legislators who are in the room for a great session. Thank you for your work. Thank you for being done. While we are very excited to continue working with you on things that we would like to see come out of the state legislature or things that we do not want to see come out of the state legislature, flowers where they are due. I want to thank the state legislature for working with Johnson County to provide local control back to the counties for motor vehicle services. For too many years, the states have continued to subsidize motor vehicle services with ad valorem property tax dollars. Every county in the state has been subsidizing their motor vehicle offices based on mandates from the state. But work together with the legislature has allowed Johnson County and all of the counties across the state of Kansas that local control back. And I thank the state legislature for supporting that bill. I also want to thank the partnerships that we have created to advocate for good policy in Topeka. 2 years ago, I started what we're calling the Big Five Caucus. That's the chair and the county manager of the 5 biggest counties in the state of Kansas. Yes, Johnson County, but also Sedgwick County, Shawnee County, Wyandotte County, and Douglas County. When you have those just 5 counties together, you have 56% of the state's population recognized. And being able to advocate together for those challenges that large urban or suburban counties face has given us more of a leg up and an avenue for advocacy with the legislature. I'm excited for what we're going to be able to do together as we continue the Big Five Caucus. But it's not just the state legislature when we talk about partnerships. Here in the metro region, there are so many groups working together to provide this amazing quality of life here in Johnson County. That includes all of the chambers that are recognized today, whether it be the chambers in Johnson County, the Greater Kansas City Chamber of Commerce, but also the Civic Council, the Kansas City Area Development Council, and one I'd like to particularly highlight today, the Mid-America Regional Council. The Mid-America Regional Council is our regional planning organization that helps with such things as transportation funding or sustainability or how we weave together resources to provide outcomes throughout the region. And I want to provide a deep, heartfelt thank you to a retiring leader, a mentor, and a friend, and that is David Warm. Now, David could not join us here today because he is executing his maybe most important role, and that's taking care of his family. But I hope he's watching. David, thank you for all you've done for the metro region, and thank you for all you have done for Johnson County. I greatly appreciate it. So we're in a strong position. Being in a strong position allows you to tackle big challenges. One of those big challenges is property taxes. Yes. Now, we will continue to work with our state legislature on ways in which we could fund local government, diversify our revenue streams, and be mindful of the increase in property taxes. I look forward to continuing that conversation with the state legislature, but understanding that we are not in control of appraised values or those statutes by which we can fund ourselves and our services. We know that we had to act in Johnson County. That's why I'm so grateful that 3 years ago, we started Johnson County's first property tax relief program, which provides significant relief, particularly to those who are most vulnerable in our community, starting with our disabled veterans, starting with our seniors. But each year over the past 3 years, we have expanded eligibility into that program. We've removed the cap of $200 of a relief payment so that now those who are eligible can provide the whole portion of Johnson County's property tax, about 19% of your property tax bill. That whole portion can be rebated back to you. We've also increased the eligibility limits by removing the requirements of seniors or disabled veterans, and we've maximized the appraised value for a home to $500,000, which is, as of last year, the county average. More than 1,000 Johnson County homeowners have seen significant relief based on this property tax relief program. And I'm asking the Board of County Commissioners to join me in expanding this program during this year's budget cycle. Let's get it done, guys. Now, strong foundations also provide us the opportunity to tackle those big opportunities, those big dreams for our community. And I promise you, there is nothing bigger than what's to come in about 63 days to our community. That's the World Cup. It is impossible to overstate how this opportunity can transform our region. And like Alexander Hamilton may have said, we're not going to miss our shot. Let's take a look.
The world is watching. But the game is just the beginning. And the field is bigger than you think. This is your home base. Johnson County United.
Again, just 63 days away from the first match in Kansas City. I imagine we'll start to feel the impact a little bit before that. But thousands of visitors, billions of eyeballs on our community, and a global spotlight for our region. I don't say it hyperbolically. This is the biggest sporting event in the history of the world, across an entire continent, 16 host cities, and Johnson County is literally and figuratively at the heart of it all. That didn't happen by accident. Years of planning, dozens of partners coming together, and preparation that has lasted hours and days and weeks and months. When we started this countdown, I think it had a 7 in front of it in the third column, and now we're down to 63. But I'm so incredibly grateful for the work that has gone into this. And folks, they are coming. One of the statistics that I learned being a board member of KC 2026, the regional planning group putting this tournament together, is ticket sales for matches at Arrowhead, or what we now have to call Kansas City Stadium. Thank you, FIFA. Yes, we are hosting some of the top teams in the world: Argentina, England, the Netherlands. But in terms of the nations that bought tickets to a match in Kansas City, there's 192 nations. So folks, the world is coming to our region. But the work that we've done, the preparation, shows us what's possible when we work together. I really hope during this tournament we do 3 things. Number 1, continue to rise on the world stage. Johnson County, the Kansas City metro region, continues to be some region that is rising. We can continue that. We also want to showcase that Johnson County magic. We have something special here, and sometimes it feels like people don't quite get it until they see it. We all have that friend or that family member that you tell about Johnson County, Kansas, and they kind of poo-poo it a little bit, and we kind of have that underdoggedness to us. Well, when you bring them here, though, you recognize that it's different. They have this aha moment where they say, wow, I didn't think that's what this was. I didn't realize you had this amenity or that. Wow, I could see myself coming back here. I could see myself starting my business here. I could see myself bringing my family here. And then it's all downhill from there. So it's a great opportunity we have to showcase that Johnson County magic and hopefully leave a legacy for the future. Now, that legacy will be some fantastic art pieces, I'm sure. I'm sure there will be more soccer pitches that are created throughout our region. But I really hope the legacy of this tournament is the foundation of us working together to be able to accomplish big things, and then taking those opportunities, not just talking about what's possible, but actually seizing the moment. Because if we can host the World Cup, guys, we can do anything, so long as we do it together. Too many times today, we are intentionally divided. There is so much rhetoric and division at the national or international level, but I think we recognize that there's something different here, that we're able to insulate ourselves from that and come together and unite as a community to accomplish big things, to grow this unique quality of life, and to protect this place that we call home. The services that we deliver at Johnson County, the people we serve, and the future we're building in Johnson County is unique because we're united. United in service to the people of our community, united in our strong foundation, but also united in a vision for the future. We are here to serve. We have purpose. We do so passionately. The people who serve give of themselves in a unique way. We all see and appreciate that passion. And we have before us extraordinary possibility because of that service. The services that are provided in Johnson County are just that, services from a service organization, whether it be that which is enshrined in the state constitution or whether it be in our home rule charter. We serve the people. We support and we care for each other here in Johnson County. It's not in the abstract. It's what we do. We're a service organization. Whether it be answering the call in the middle of the night or whether it be helping somebody at their all-time low, we impact hundreds of thousands of people every single day through dozens of departments implementing hundreds of individual services. There is not enough time today to brag on every single one of them, but let me touch on a few of those services and those individuals that exemplify this spirit of service. When you call 911 in Johnson County, somebody picks up within 15 seconds. And an ambulance, if you need it, is at your door within 10 minutes anywhere in this county. That does not happen everywhere in America. It doesn't happen everywhere in our metro region. The fundamental feeling of safety in Johnson County is sacrosanct. You all continue to tell us that that is your top priority. It's my top priority as well. The backbone of that is our MedAct and EMS service. I want to say a special thank you to those members of the Department of Emergency Services and MedAct that helped last night, including going to Miami County through the early part of this morning to help the victims of the tornadoes. Can we say thank you to them? Now, we've seen a continued demand surge for MedAct and EMS. We've seen a 70% increase in call volume since 2015 because of our growing and aging population in Johnson County, and that is only continuing to rise year over year. That's up to 236 MedAct calls per day. So as we were seeing this increase, our response times began to shake, so we acted. We opened 2 new facilities in 2025, an Olathe MedAct station as well as a fire station, the Sunflower Fire Station in DeSoto. These world-class facilities complement 9 new emergency medical positions to help those peak times of need in ambulance service. Our community continues to tell us that this is their #1 priority, so we are going to continue to actively focus on intentionally meeting those service demands, preventing burnout from our first responders, and making sure that MedAct has all the resources that they need to keep our community safe. But safety isn't just about emergency response. It's about proactively intervening when times are tough. This past year, we opened a crisis stabilization center. Before that, if you needed crisis stabilization in Johnson County, you had 3 options. Number 1, you could go to the emergency room. Number 2, you could go to a facility in Wyandotte County. And number 3, all too often, you'd just end up in jail. None of those are the right outcome. So this past year, we opened the Crisis Stabilization Center that provides people in their time of need those services that can best help. That includes a clinician, it includes a caseworker, it includes a safe place to stabilize, and a path forward. When you combine that with the Youth Crisis Stabilization Center that we opened recently in Olathe, for the first time in Johnson County's history, people of all ages have an opportunity for crisis stabilization right here at home in Johnson County. So I truly believe how we treat the most vulnerable in our community is how we will be judged. And Johnson County goes above and beyond to that end. And that includes those who are aging in place in Johnson County, whether it be the CHAMPS program, whether it be Meals on Wheels, or whether it be Catch a Ride, which is an incredible program. It helps our senior residents get to their appointments and have an opportunity for socialization so that they can stay in their homes as long as they would like. Karen Pryor, she lives here in Olathe. She is a recipient of service through Catch a Ride. And her friend, John Jezak, is a volunteer for Catch a Ride. Karen is able to get to her appointments. John has the opportunity to serve in Johnson County. They're both here today to tell you to please utilize the Catch a Ride program, and I thank them so much for their dedication to Johnson County. Karen, John, thank you so much. Now, service also means making sure that everybody in Johnson County has the opportunity to live their fullest life, people of all abilities. So when I get the opportunity to go to the Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center, or for any of us locals, King Louie, right? Whenever I get the chance to go to King Louie, I always want to stop by the Emerging Artists Program that, in partnership with JCDS, Johnson County Developmental Supports, provides an opportunity for those with physical or educational disabilities to create art. And in doing so, they have an opportunity to not only hone their skills, they have an opportunity to express themselves, but they also have an opportunity to earn income. Now, two of those artists are Brad Freeman and George Utter, fantastic artists whose work can be displayed or seen at the Olathe Medac Station and at the County Admin Building. Their staff members, Amanda Burkhart and Eden Hake, are also here with us today, and I'd like to thank them all very much for coming and joining us. George, Brad, stand up, be recognized. Thank you so much. For those of you who may have a military member in the family, you, like me, would be so proud of Johnson County for the Veterans Treatment Court. For the past 10 years, we have provided this opportunity that gives a leg up and a handout to those who have served our country. One of those veterans is Doug Henderson. Served in the United States Army, served 2 tours in Afghanistan, but through alcohol-related incidents, ended his military service, led to 10 years of financial hardships, family struggles, which ultimately led him to be justice involved and to a plea deal on May 2nd, 2024. Part of that plea deal was participating in the Veterans Treatment Court program. That day, May 2nd, 2024, remains his sobriety date. Now, through the Veterans Treatment Court, Doug participated in moral recognition therapy, more than 250 random drug screenings, participation with a peer group, and it gave him a path forward. He and his Veterans Treatment Court mentor, Tom Letourneau, are here today, as well as we are joined by District Court Judge Timothy McCarthy, who launched the Veterans Treatment Court 10 years ago. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your service to Johnson County. Doug, thank you so much for being here today. Now, that strength of Johnson County builds upon a strong foundation that has been here for decades. It didn't happen by accident. It's not guaranteed. We continue to invest in that foundation of strength through our strong economy, through infrastructure, and through partnerships. There could be no doubt that Johnson County continues to lead the metro region in the state of Kansas. There's any number of statistics that I can throw at you, but let me try one. In the past 3 years, the 3 largest economic development projects in the history of the state of Kansas have all landed in Johnson County, Kansas. That includes Panasonic. Yeah, give it up. It includes Panasonic, it includes Fiserv, a reinvestment from Merck Animal Health. But maybe it's a 3 asterisk now when you talk about the largest economic developments in the history of the state of Kansas, because one of those, which we share with Wyandotte County, is coming right here to Olathe, and that's the Kansas City Chiefs. How about that, Olathe? Now, again, the statistics speak for themselves. 30% of the GDP of the state of Kansas, 36% of the metro region's GDP, more than 1/3 of all the jobs in the metro region are right here in Johnson County. Between 2019 and 2024, 58% of all the jobs that were created in the state of Kansas were created in Johnson County. But it's not just big business, it's small business too. I'm incredibly proud of those small businesses that have joined us at the Merriam Grand Station. Or maybe out in DeSoto on a hot summer day, you can enjoy Forces of Nature Brewing. I'm sure looking forward to that after this speech. But we've also created opportunities for those that are helping build Johnson County. That includes skilled tradesmen. Over the last 2 years, we've seen more than a 50% increase of Johnson Countyans who are participating in a union apprenticeship program. That gives them an incredible opportunity to hone their skills and take good paying jobs and help us build our community. Measuring the moment of this impact sometimes is difficult, but in order to make sure that we can achieve our peak, we need to support that through good infrastructure. Part of that is the utilities that we serve. One of the most impressive utilities in America is Johnson County wastewater. Now, over the last few years, we have reinvested in the Tomahawk wastewater facility. We are currently building a new Nelson wastewater treatment facility as it continues to operate. The skill and the engineering of all of that is mind-blowing, but we're able to do it in Johnson County, and by doing that through value engineering, through partnerships with the federal and state government and revolving loan fund, we're saving hundreds of millions of dollars for Johnson County taxpayers, and we are providing a strong basis for businesses and for families. Infrastructure also means making sure that people can move around Johnson County. Over the past 18 months, we have been working on a new strategic transit plan for Johnson County, Kansas. Thank you if those of you in the room were some of the hundreds of volunteers who participated in the community outreach portion of that program. We heard you loud and clear. You want more robust service. You want strong service that people can rely on as a mode of choice, not just a mode of necessity. Thank you very much for your efforts. We look forward to executing for the future upon that strategic transit plan. As I said last year, we continue to also go to the skies in Johnson County with how we get around. The New Century Airport gives us a unique opportunity to do more. It's $1 billion in economic development each year out at New Century, but now through a partnership with the Federal Aviation Administration, we are creating a new vision, a 2.0 vision for New Century Airport. I look forward to all of y'all's participation in that as we dream about what that airport can mean for Johnson County's future. When we talk about infrastructure, it's not just the things that we build, it's the areas that we protect. And there's no better recognition of that than the Johnson County Parks and Recreation District. And it's not just me that recognizes the Johnson County Parks and Recreation District. America is watching. This year, JCPRD won the gold medal, recognizing them as the best Parks and Recreation District in America. Jeff Stewart, stand up, take a bow, Jeff. It's the highest honor that can be achieved, and it is so well earned. Your team continues to exceed expectations. not just in protecting parkland, but for transforming it for the future. I'm so excited with the legacy that we can build together, whether it be master planning at Kill Creek or at Heritage Park, or the additional programming that we can do for the 50+ program at JCPRD, or expand childcare opportunities. Did you all know that JCPRD is the largest provider of childcare in the state of Kansas? It's amazing. So we look forward to thinking about what that legacy can be for JCPRD and how we can welcome more folks to participate. Because it's about a $280 million economic impact each year from the activities of JCPRD as they welcome 8 million people to the parks on an annual basis. It's a cornerstone of our visitor economy, which I got to tell you all, the visitor economy is sneaky big here in Johnson County. It's about a $2 billion industry year over year. Now, to put that into context for all of us, each household in Johnson County would have to pay an extra $800 in property taxes, less the impact of tourism. I don't know about you, I don't want to pay another $800 in property taxes. But as we think about how we can reduce our reliance on property taxes and diversify our revenue streams to support all of the good services for Johnson County, tourism and the visitor economy is a piece to that puzzle. But we need to think about not just the next event. We need to think about a future where Johnson County can remain safe, can remain abundant, and full of opportunity. And part of that means that we continue to make Johnson County a place to call home, somewhere to call home for everyone. I think we all recognize that we are in a national housing crisis, and Johnson County is not immune from that challenge. There are so many in Johnson County who are either renters or homeowners that are mortgage burdened. There are so few homes available. We have such a short inventory. We have a hot market. But we know that the foundation of opportunity in Johnson County is owning a home and being a long-term resident in Johnson County, Kansas. Now, Johnson County is leading the way, no doubt. We've added more than 14,000 housing units over the past 5 years. That's more than 42% of those housing units added to the metro region, more than 30% of all permits in the state of Kansas in the same time. But a thriving Johnson County means that there are even more opportunities for home ownership, for our teachers, for our nurses, for our first responders in the community. So in Johnson County, we're going to continue to find partnerships and be wind in the sails to work with public and private and nonprofit and parochial all together to bring more housing online in Johnson County. One of the good recognitions of our progress is the Pathways Project in Olathe. In partnership with Habitat for Humanity, Johnson County invested in infrastructure for a 14 single-family home neighborhood in Olathe, helping those who have done the right thing but find themselves still reaching for home ownership. This is an example of what's possible when we work together, when we are united in a vision for our community. And we're not stopping there. This year, we established an ad hoc working group within our Board of County Commissioners, not just to discuss policy, but to actually pick projects and start implementing, to go towards action in housing. The first project that we looked at was a land policy. Now, it's modeled off of things that have been in place in Cleveland or Atlanta or Salt Lake City. It looks at the capital stack of a home project and recognizes that a big part of that stack is just the land itself. So we created a policy that looks to leverage our own assets for new development. And this policy will inventory Johnson County's assets and Johnson County's publicly owned land to see what is possible of where housing can weave in to the services that we provide in Johnson County. That housing feasibility analysis will come to the board on September 1st of this year, and it gives us an opportunity to utilize that lens when new projects come before the county. Hopefully, this is a vision and a process that others in the community could utilize as well. So, building upon that is making sure that we continue to find ways to work together. That legacy of working together will surely be evident this summer with the World Cup. We knew that we needed to tackle big challenges for the World Cup. One of those was transportation. FIFA gave us a grade card. It looked at safety and security, your stadium assets, different opportunities for soccer within your community, and transportation. And Kansas City's grade card there put us at 15th out of the 16 host cities in transportation, just edging out Guadalajara, Mexico. So we knew that we needed to do more intentionally within our community. So in Johnson County, we were proactive. We were the first organization in America to secure buses for World Cup service. And because of that, we've saved millions of dollars over what we would otherwise be paying now, and it has allowed us to stand up two things. The Johnson County Link, which is a partnership with 7 of our cities for additional circulator routes that overlay our existing transportation program. And in doing so, help connect people to where they would like to go and highlights places in our cities that we want people to come within Johnson County. This also dovetails nicely with the Regional Direct program from KC 2026. It allows folks to get from Johnson County to the World War I Museum for Fan Fest, or on match days to Kansas City Stadium. Now, we also recognize that people want to get to the airport in our community, and there was no easy way to get from the airport to Johnson County. So we created the Johnson County Drop and Ride service. So whether from Overland Park Convention Center or the Lenexa City Center, you can go directly from Johnson County on a 30-minute headway directly to the departures terminal at MCI. Or you can be picked up directly from the arrivals terminal at MCI and get to the Overland Park Convention Center or the Lenexa City Center, and this service is free. Once we have been able to welcome the world, we hope that we can have a conversation with our community about the additional services that we have stood up and talk about investing in those for the future. Now, if you want to learn more about all things Johnson County for the tournament, where we can find watch parties, where you can catch the bus, or how best to showcase Johnson County to the world, we've created a one-stop shop, and that is johnsoncountyunited.com. Please take a look at johnsoncountyunited.com, where you can also see some of the great work that cities have done in preparing for the tournament, whether it be the For the Goal Leawood campaign, or whether it be Pitch Lenexa, or Goal Olathe. You guys remember that commercial? I did too. I got to try one, guys. Come on. But really, I'm looking forward to this summer. It's an opportunity to prove our case, because we have a unique opportunity to showcase and to build, to dream, and to execute. When we invest in ourselves, we succeed. When we realize that there is more value in working together and about creating possibility, we build a better quality of life for my family and for yours. It is all too often that we are intentionally divided, whether it be by social media or by bad faith actors. But we realize in Johnson County, as you have told us, we are united. And when we come together to provide great service, and we come together to execute on opportunities, there's really nothing that can stop us. Now, while you are showcasing Johnson County this summer, make sure to rep your cities, but also rep the county. So you can see on your tables, you have some fantastic opportunities to do that, whether it be some really cool lapel pins or some chip clips or some stickers. And if you would look at your program, turn it over, and if you are the lucky person with a soccer ball on the back of it, you get to take home that soccer ball and the scarf on your table. We all love swag, right? All right. There you go, Dad. So, as we leave today, I'd like to thank you all for your partnership. I'd like to thank you all for your service. I am incredibly grateful and humbled to be able to be in this position, working with all of you for a better community. And again, we are Johnson County. We might be one of 105 counties in the state or one of 10 counties in the metro region, but we have something special here. And of all the things going on in the world, we've been able to absorb and insulate and work together, and I'm excited to share this with the world. Johnson County, this room is united. We're excited for the World Cup, and we're looking forward to some fun times from Kansas City's own Tech 9. Thank you all very much. Have a good afternoon.